All right, guys, what do you think, huh? I think we're going to go live and see what happens. Let's go for it. All right, we're going live at any point in time. Holy smoke, here we are with today's version of Get Virtual. And, today is officially Bring Your Son or Daughter to Work Day. And I've got one of my three, and we've got our special celebrity guest hosts, the Kelly family, with all three of their triplets. Oh my gosh. Man. So, hi there. Megan, would you guys say that you're probably the most famous family of triplets on the South Shore?
I think so. I think we might be the only triplet family in the South Shore.
So, today we have a great show. We got a lot of people coming on talking about different things going on with, education, especially in the home work life with kids and all that stuff. I got some kids coming in and out, so I got to look there. So, you guys are in a unique situation. You've got two professionals working in the same household and obviously three different kids. How are things going for you guys? What are you guys doing to try to cope with this? How do you handle it the best way possible?
We're learning to cope with these new coworkers that we have. And then Patrick and I have to become coworkers now too. Like every Sunday, right before the week's gonna start, we're talking about how we're going to schedule the week, like when we actually need quiet time, when we can't be interrupted. And so we're blocking that out. We're making a schedule for that. And then we're just trying to stick to a regular schedule with our kids also. And luckily we have one of them that's quite the schedule stickler and keeps everybody on track. But it's been much easier now that the weather is cooperating in Lake Tahoe and we're having a real spring. So we'll send these guys and maybe Pat can give you an answer on how he's doing. You guys go finish your marble run.
I wanted to get a lollipop.
Want a lollipop. Lots of bribing too.
Yeah, I found that bribing is not a bad thing either. It does work from time to time for those short, times when you really have to make something work. Now, what are you doing? So how much, like you are water engineer, you do all kinds of crazy stuff, engineering type things. How is that working with, you just try to get Patrick to take the kids out of the room when you're trying to do some really fancy really fancy stuff? Or
exactly, like when I'm doing work, I need like an hour uninterrupted to get into the work. So yeah, we've been just doing a schedule where maybe I get up early, do a little bit of work, and then we switch off for a little bit, and then I get like a couple hours of uninterrupted work, and then I've basically been just trying to work 7 days a week since we're quarantined anyway, so it's more of spreading out the 35 to 40 hours over. I'm having a hard time getting 40 hours in a week with all these kids home.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I have a lot of late night and early morning working right now to try to have that little bit of peace and quiet.
Yeah, answering calls, running outside and trying to get a call and peace and quiet happens a lot.
Right. Now, I know your kids right now, we're in like TK or pre-K, but next year they're probably going to be going to kindergarten. We actually, our next guest is actually the vice principal of the Lake Schools. And we're going to bring him on. And this is Sean Ryan. And maybe he can talk to us a little bit about, he can tell us exactly what we need to do to control the chaos in our life, right? Sean, you got all the answers.
Well, I don't know if I have all the answers, but one of the best things that I can suggest is the schedule. Having a consistent schedule and keeping that routine going is one of the best things for families to maintain some semblance of normalcy during this crazy time. So a schedule, getting up, having breakfast, and then hopefully we're able to have a lot of our teachers checking in with students doing virtual instruction. So hopefully that would be an opportunity for parents to get a little alone time or get some time to get some of their work done. So
Yeah, my kids have really liked that, just seeing their classmates even as much as their teacher on those virtual kind of Zoom calls. Yeah.
I don't know if I can see that. My daughter thinks she's doing sign language interpretation of what I'm saying, so she's at least trying. So it's an interesting thought on that process. And now, Sean, obviously we've switched over. Governor Sisolak just announced that in Nevada, we're not going to we're going to have distant learning for the rest of the year. You guys have really adapted quickly to try to, get education and stuff out there for the students. Can you talk a little bit about that, of maybe how that affects from kindergartners up to even seniors in high school, and some other things that people might not know about?
Well, we're fortunate. We have one-to-one computers for any student that needs it. We do food distribution 3 days a week through the Nevada Department of Agriculture, the free and reduced lunch program. So we do food distribution Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If any students need a Chromebook, we have those available at the food distribution. If any student doesn't have access to the internet, then we have the packets available for them at that time. So we have great opportunities to keep kids engaged. We are making sure, because we have such a small staff, we are making sure that we are making contact with students multiple times a week. If we don't hear from students during the week, we actually go and visit them. We'll knock on doors and see what's going on and make sure they're all right. Right now, the first couple of weeks were all about making sure the relationships were still strong. As Megan pointed out, that contact with the teacher and the peers in the classroom was really important. And now we're moving into kind of new instruction to keep kids making pace so they don't get what we have heard of, the COVID slide. We want kids up that we serve to make sure that they're getting some education, so when they come back to school, hopefully in the fall, that we're ready to move forward and they didn't really miss anything. So.
Now, do you guys see the prospect of probably trying to keep a little bit of the summer education going through to avoid that COVID slide? Has that been discussed?
Well, that gets into a tricky area because teachers are contracted for a number of days, and they will technically have fulfilled those. We have a leadership meeting. As you pointed out, the governor just announced Tuesday night that all this was changing. We were under the impression we were going back May 1st. So we have to kind of switch gears now, and we have a leadership meeting next Tuesday to kind of attack it as a whole district team to put some plans into place and make some strategic moves so that the students can continue doing the remote learning with fidelity, and that we can make plans moving forward.
Now, I'm glad that Patrick's joined us. Patrick, you're also a high school teacher. So you're teaching high school and trying to manage 3 5-year-olds at home. That must be quite a juxtaposition in what you're doing.
There's a lot of different balls in the air for sure, not only with family, but also teaching my full classes I have at Full Hotel. Also facilitate some homeschooling for the boys with their lessons every day. It's definitely a very different aspect going in and out from teaching 5-year-olds about the letter U to teaching the origins of the Great Depression. So it is a vast difference of what we're covering every day with these kids. But it seems to be working out, and hopefully most families have been able to find a good balance like we have so far. So.
Yeah, true. Well, I'm going to bring on our final panelist today, and this is just another aspect of the education side that we got going on. Jeff DeFranco is the president of the Lake Tahoe Community College. And Jeff, before you start talking to us, I just want to kind of show the people out there just how famous you are. You can see here, isn't that you dancing right there? I think we're the Tahoe Stars. And then I noticed you've got a new career of cutting hair. Is this true too?
I am giving my kids haircuts. I used to love to use some barbering skills as a teenager and as a college kid. And it's not quite like riding a bike, but they look pretty good.
I mean, I'm not much of a hair expert, obviously, but I've always heard the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut is about 3 days. I don't know. So,
my kids they got a lot of style. They wanted the fade just right. My eldest son wanted his bangs to kind of swoop to the side. It was actually they're pretty high standards for elementary and a middle school kid.
well, I'm better than you than me. So, obviously it's great having you on here. You're in kind of a different boat, right? With being higher education, and you're kind of the last step to prepare people to go out into the world and be, participating members in this stuff. What have you guys done to adapt, and what kind of neat things are going on there at the Lake Tahoe Community College?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I've been telling our staff and our students is that now more than ever, students are going to need degrees and certifications. With, the unemployment numbers, I think, jumped to 26 million today, right? They're going to need those degrees to differentiate themselves on a very difficult job market moving forward. And so we're trying, it's not business as usual, that's for sure. But we're trying to keep students moving forward toward their degrees. The good news for us is we have taught a lot of courses online prior to the COVID crisis. So it's not completely new to us. So we are, a little more prepared for it maybe than some of our counterparts. But of course, some of our students maybe have never taken a class online. And we did a student survey, and at the end of this, when we got the survey results, this was back in early March, I said, some of our students are more afraid of online learning than they are of coronavirus. Because they were so concerned about the idea of heading online. But I think we're making good progress. And again, community colleges are responsible for training EMTs, firefighters, nurses, a lot of the jobs that we need right now in the state of California. So we're full speed ahead to the best of our ability.
That's amazing to hear. So, we're all, trying to do and navigate our way through this. I would love to hear, just going sort of round table here, is there anything that's really surprised you about the situation we're in that you didn't think about, when this all started, that you're like, wow, I just didn't think about, that aspect of stuff. Does anyone want to go first?
I'll jump in if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just amazed at how well our teachers adapted so quickly. You want to talk about some older, teachers who are nearing retirement and lower grade levels that just don't have that technology skills, or that just wholeheartedly took this on and were asking for directions. And a lot of the other teachers stepped up and assisted them, and they have had those meetings going on, the virtual meetings going on, and doing lessons like they didn't miss a beat. So that's been super, super impressive that they were able to do that. And it's all just goes to show that it's not about the testing so much. It's about the relationships and really doing what's best for kids. So.
Megan, you had something you were going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say that just at my company, we've been able to transition also to online, and it's kind of amazing how easy it is to do a lot of our work remotely. But I would say just from the family aspect, a lot of people see me on the street with triplets, and they're always like, oh, I bless your heart. I feel so sorry for you every time I see you. And actually, this is one of the best times to have triplets. Like, I'm just so grateful that I have 3 kids that are the same age and they can play together, because we get at least a few hours a day, every day, where they're just playing really well together. And I know that it's a lot harder for actually parents who are trying to teach school, like kindergarten and 2nd grade. Like, I think that's even harder than we have it. Like, we're able to kind of focus on one age group generally and do that. And yeah, it's just been a lot of great family time. Like, I don't think I would have ever gotten this much time with my family had this not happened. So there are some bright sides to that, to this kind of forced slow down pace of life.
Yeah, I'll add to that, 2 things. One, just to build on that, there definitely are some silver linings. I look out my window and I see so many people taking a walk in the neighborhood and just getting out, kind of slowing down, having walks with family and friends. So I think that's been great. Also, the level of innovation that we're seeing right now, especially, with all these educators on the line here, is there's just been tons of education, innovation in both K-12 and higher education. And I think our students and the educational systems are going to benefit from this in the long term. even though it's challenging. And I think the final thing is I think we all used to want to work from home, right? We're like envious of it, like, oh, you get to work from your sweat, you're at home, it's comfortable. But no one really ever wanted to work from home with a bunch of kids running around in the middle of a global pandemic. And so this is definitely a different kind of work from home for all of us. And I think everyone's finding this much more challenging than we originally thought remote work was.
So, a quick question for Patrick. Patrick, have you had people come on the street saying, "Man, I have a lot more respect for teachers nowadays, having to deal with these kids and all aspects"?
I've seen the comments on social media and stuff like that. We haven't come around too many people on the street so much, but just like social media and stuff like that, which is it's interesting for sure. But just to build on what Mr. Ryan said, I think the adaptability of not only teachers in this situation, but students as well. I think the students have really stepped up in the plate, at least in my classes I've seen. They've really been able to do a good job stepping up and getting the work done and things like that. And one of the fascinating things I've come across is when we do have our Google Meets, how much the students like being with each other, even though they're not really with each other. They like seeing each other on the screen, and even the social aspect, I think, of schools is hopefully they get it with the Google Meets and the Zooms we've been having and things like that. It's just interesting to see that dynamic.
I will say that's one thing I kind of noticed that surprised me. You know, we've been holding Zoom meetings and different conferences with, you know, my work and different, you know, webinars and things like that. And I watched my kids see me do that stuff. And then, you know, they were asking, you know, when can we do that with our class, which I thought was really kind of neat. And then just to realize that, school is about educating, but it's also that socialization and, you know, and that aspect. And those kids being able to do that, it's been really quite amazing to watch. Even my preschooler, you know, she's 3.5 years old. She's visually impaired, so I don't know how much she actually sees on the Zoom meeting, but she has a great time dancing around and staring at the screen with different people. So it's really quite neat. Well, I want to thank all of you for coming today. I really appreciate it. It was a great conversation, a little bit chaotic, but we knew that was going to happen. And I think we got some great stuff here. And, I always like pointing out, if you like the show, Get Virtual, make sure you share it, like it. And if you have any other great ideas, email us at renotahoe@planmygetaway.com. And guys, thanks for joining us. And you'll be able to see it. You'll be famous forever. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
Oh, do you want to talk? Wait a minute. You want to say something? What do you want to say? Can the kids talk? All right. We'll let you go. See you guys.
Bye.
See you.
All right.
All right. We're on live stream. So all good, guys.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good job. Worked out
Thank you.
awesome.
Thanks.
Glad you guys could make it. And like I said, it'll be on our Facebook page, and then we'll have it broadcast in other areas too. So I thought it turned out really good. We got some good stuff in there. And yeah, I think there'll be people out there that will look at this and say, you know, maybe my one child at home is not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about growing their family right now.
Right?
No, well, the joke I've always heard is there'll be a baby boom, but it's going to be all firstborns.
Yeah. Well, all
All right, guys. I know you have a lot
Take care,
going on.
everybody.
So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.